Episode 1, the In-Shape podcast. We are the Shapers. My name is Josh Buff Comedy.
And I'm Adriana.
And this is the first episode of many episodes on our YouTube channel where we'll discuss everything involving fitness. We're going to talk about nutrition, working out, supplementation, the other supplements, competing, how to keep your relationship going through the crazy world of bodybuilding. We're going to talk about everything, but everything has to start somewhere, and this is the start. This is episode 1. Now, I know what you're wondering. Who are you guys? Why should I care? Do you guys even work out? Let me tell you about our backgrounds. Now, starting with me, again, Josh Buff Comedy, follow me. I've been doing fitness for the past decade, about 9 years, but I always say past decade because it sounds better. I've coached over 1,000 people. I've owned and operated gyms. I've done everything when it comes to being involved inside gyms and training clients. As a competitor, I've won 2 overalls the past 3 years, and I'm hoping this year, that I can go pro. Please! I want to go pro. Now, Adriana?
Yeah, I'm Adriana, so I have my master's in exercise physiology. I've been coaching for 5 years. I'm a national bikini competitor. I was 1 spot away from earning my pro card. So 2023, I plan to earn my pro card.
She's close. 1 spot away. What judge we have to pay to get that 1 spot? That's a different topic. All right, so in this first episode on this podcast, we're going to talk about fitness myths. In fact, we're going to talk about the 3 top fitness myths we hear every single week in the gym, online, on TikTok, on Instagram. I've been hearing these fitness myths for almost 10 years now. 10 long years of hearing about all this BS. Now, you probably heard about a lot of these myths, and we're here to give you the correct answers. Now, the first one. And the first one is probably the most common one. The first one, you probably believed it before. I believed it before. She's believed it before. Now, if you go to the gym on any given day, you walk around, you're going to see a bunch of people doing abs. See them doing crunches, hanging knee ups, back flips, front flips, doing a shake weight. They're doing whatever they can to get the abs, right? And when you ask those people, I see you doing abs. What diet are you on? What do they always say? I'm not on a diet. And that presents the first myth. The first myth we're going to talk about is I can lose belly fat by just doing abs. I'll repeat that. I can lose belly fat by just doing abs. Now, Adriana, you've heard this before, right?
Yeah, definitely.
How often have you heard it?
By all my clients.
All the clients. All the clients. We've all heard it. We hear it all the time, right? Now, when we talk about abs, right? Showcase your abs. The first question I would ask you at home, little quiz. Do you have abs? Most of you would probably say, no, I don't have abs. I don't see abs. You do. You do have abs. Everybody has abs. Now, how those abs look and if they're showing comes down to your body composition, right? Adrian will confirm this. You have a master's. Do we all have abs?
Yeah.
It's all there, right? She's heard this in school. You heard this in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have abs. Now, again, how do we showcase the abs? How do we do it? There's 2 parts to this. We have nutrition and we have training. The biggest part of it is nutrition because nutrition is how we lose fat. We're not doing crunches to lose the fat. We're eating to lose the fat. Like Adriana, when you give a client a meal plan and they ask you, Adriana, but what about abs? Don't you always say this meal plan is going to get you abs?
Yeah, I mean, abs are made in the kitchen. You know, we put core into the program because it's going to help, you know, with functionality. You know, it's your point of stability. So it's going to help strengthen that. And then also it's going to define your core, so aesthetically. But if you're not on a proper plan, of course, you know, you're never going to see your abs.
Yeah, so let's break down that answer. Let's actually break it down. Let's get back to the diet. Now, you can get core and abs to showcase without doing any crunches, without doing any leg raises. If you're in a deficit on a daily basis, you're following your meal plan that's designed correctly with a high protein, monitored carbs, and monitored fat type of diet, then your body will begin to drop body fat. I wish you had a studio audience. They would all repeat it. Body fat. As your body fat lowers, what tends to happen? The abs start to show. They're there. It's magical, right? So again, when you see people doing crunches, that's not going to get them abs. You on your meal plan is what's going to get you to showcase abs. Now, when we go back to why people do core, why all trainers put core in their plan, why athletes do core, why bodybuilders do core, why I do core, why she does core, why do we do core? That's to bring definition in the abs, to really separate the abs, recondition the abs. And functionality-wise, going back to her answer, right? Like, just to break down the functionality of why we're training abs. You have a 80, 90-year-old client, right?
Yep.
You have an 89-year-old client. And you have her train abs, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't want abs.
We do core more, for functionality, just to help with their stability in case she falls down, she has the strength.
Yeah, she needs a strength. So if she falls down, she can brace herself. So when we're doing core in the gym, it's very beneficial. Of course, I would never say not do it. But because all your lifts are based around your core. So if you're training core in an isolation way, you're developing core strength. It's going to help your lifts. It's going to help, again, all the functionality of your body. And it's going to help with aesthetics. Now, believe it or not, some people do not train core because they don't want their core to showcase too much, but they still have a nice abs, a six-pack. Like Adriana here, she doesn't train core too much because she doesn't want the abs to get too dense for her bikini shows. Is correct?
Yeah, and also, you don't want to create a wider waist. So I personally don't train, my obliques with any weight.
And you still have abs at the show.
Yeah.
See, again, she diets hard, cardio hard. She still has abs, even without doing crunches every day. Because always remember this. When you're lifting weights, you're working your core. Like, you get more core stimulation from picking up heavy weight than just doing little floor crunches. If a guy's picking up 300 pounds, whose core is working more? The guy picking up 300 pounds or the person doing crunches? It's the guy picking up 300 pounds. That's why you'll see powerlifters have dense cores. CrossFitters, dense cores. Are they doing a bunch of crunches? No. They're doing big lifts. Bodybuilders, dense core. That's from heavy weightlifting. Not just doing a bunch of abs every single day. So again, to go back to that myth, what were we talking about? I can lose belly fat by doing abs. No! You lose belly fat from nutrition. You're doing abs to bring aesthetics, definition, strength, functionality. That's why we're doing those abs, all right? So again, if you're doing crunches, you eat in and out, stop it. If you're doing crunches, you're going home, drinking tequila on Friday night, the Jose Cuervo, put it down. It's not going to work, all right? Start eating good, and then your abs will showcase. What'd you say? You said abs are made in the kitchen. What'd you say?
Abs are made in the kitchen?
Yeah. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's a true thing. Abs are made in the kitchen. Put it on a shirt, all right? All right. Now we're on to myth number 2. And this one right here. Do you ever hear something that always makes you mad? Like you hear it and it just drives you crazy? Like that one thing that if you hear it, it ruins your day? This is that one thing. I hear this every day for the past 10 years, man. 10 years. This second myth is lifting weights makes women bulky. I'll repeat. Lifting weights makes women bulky. Now, Adriana, how much do you weigh?
Right now, 115.
115. You train weights hard every single day.
Oh yeah, heavy.
You're 5 foot tall, right?
Yep.
You've been training weights for how long? Heavy?
Almost 10 years.
10 years. And you train as heavy as you can, as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And you're on a bikini team, one of the best bikini teams. I want to give them a shout out. Who's a bikini?
Yeah, Fit Body Fusion.
Fit Body Fusion. I want my money. You're on a bikini team, and they all train heavy as they can, right?
Yep.
Now, if you look at Adriana here, does she look bulky to you? She look like Ronnie Coleman? She look like the Hulk? Does she look like me? What does she? No. She looks in shape, proportional. She looks good to go. And she trains heavy every single day. All right? So that is just a first example of why that's wrong. That's a live example, but let's get into the science behind it. Now, Adriana, you hear about this myth all the time, right? When you get female clients?
Oh, yeah. All my female clients, they have this misconception that, women, that we're going to increase our muscle mass as fast as men, but scientifically, we don't have as much testosterone as men do. So it's not going to be as quick as men. And it's not going to be because of heavy weight training. Exactly.
So again, that's a big point to put in. Men will add muscle at a faster rate than women. I'm not being weird. Don't cancel me. It's a science-based because we have more testosterone. But always remember this when it comes to any program, right? You get what you want. Like, a lot of females think that one day they're just going to wake up and look like the Hulk. Like, they're going to call me and say, Josh, what did you done to me? I'm huge. It doesn't work like that. Muscle is added incrementally over time. Your body will take shape over time. In order to add muscle and make the body look great, make the body look tight, make the body look proportional, you're going to have to challenge the body. How do we challenge the body? By lifting weights. Like, Adriana, when you got into fitness, just on a personal note, did you feel this? Did you think about this at all?
Yeah, I honestly, I thought I was going to get bulky. I didn't know the science behind it. But, you know, weight training, heavy weight training is just going to help you, like, shape your body. You know, it's going to give you those nice curves. It's going to widen the back. It's going to round out the shoulders. It's going to create, you know, that narrow waist illusion. So, yeah, it's definitely a misconception by a lot of women nowadays.
Yeah, and again, it's honestly ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. I mean, sometimes you have to think to yourself, like, do I really believe what I'm saying? Like, for you and I'm talking to the women who might think this, or men who might think this for their girlfriend. Because believe it or not, I hear men all the time. They tell me, Josh, I don't want my girl training too much. I don't want her to look bulky. I don't like muscular women. And usually they don't work out at all. Either man doesn't. That's just not true. You got to realize, like, think about your statement. You really think that it's that easy to get that buff? Or if you just lift weights? No, you have to be intentional to look like this, to look like that, to look like those beautiful, strong women who get pointed out way too much at bodybuilding shows for being too buff. To look like those women who are bulky, the amount of work they put in, the years they put in, the stuff they do is just top notch. It's above even what bodybuilders do. So it's just arrogant to think that. You got to be realistic. So again, going back to the myth, I'm going to repeat it. Lifting weights makes women bulky. No. Lifting weights makes women look great.
It gives you that nice hourglass shape.
Hourglass shape. No BBLs. We are anti-BBL on this show. All right? We're anti-BBL. Don't cancel me. I'm just trying to make statements. All right. Myth number 3. And I love, this probably is the one I hear about the most. And this is probably the one that might affect you the most. I am not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. I'll repeat that. I'm not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. Now, I hear this particular myth every single day. So when I go to the gym, people like to talk to me at the gym about their progress. And I hear it all the time. I ask them, what are you trying to do? They say, I'm on a weight loss plan. I said, have you lost any weight? They say, I've lost only a couple pounds, but it's because I'm adding muscle. Now, don't want to burst your bubble, but someone's got to do it, and I'm going to do it because I love bursting bubbles, all right? Let's break this down. Now, Adriana and me have been in bodybuilding for a long time, right? And just to be honest with you, you know, I've taken my fair share of those super supplements, those steroids, right? And my friends have. She knows people that have. And Adriana, how much weight would you say an enhanced bodybuilder's taking steroids in a prep, whether it's a female or a man, how much weight do you usually lose?
Anywhere from 10 to 30 pounds.
10 to 30 pounds. That's the big bodybuilders. Some of the women who are in those upper division classes. All of us are going to drop 20, 15, 10, up to 30 pounds during the prep. And we are on the juice, the PEDs, the gear. We're on all that stuff. And we're dropping that. So if we're dropping weight during our preps, while being on a deficit, while being on a diet, while training every single day, then why would you think as a natural person who's not training as hard, who's not training as frequently, who's not eating as frequently, is adding muscle and that's the reason why your weight's not moving? And why do people believe that though? That's another thing. What's this thing you always hear about?
Yeah, muscle weighs more than fat. So of course, you know, it's all muscle.
Yeah, they always say that. Well, muscle weighs more than fat, Josh. So of course I'm replacing the muscle with the fat, so the muscle weighs more. No. Because that would only make sense if you were adding muscle at the equal rate you're losing fat. That's the only way that would make sense. People don't realize that. Is muscle heavier than fat? Doesn't matter when it comes to the equation of a program where you're trying to lose weight. Because you're going to lose fat at a way higher rate than when you gain muscle. Like, Adriana, what's the biggest weight loss you've seen in a year from a client?
Anywhere from 60 pounds to 70 pounds.
We've seen clients lose 60, 70, 100 pounds. You ever seen The Biggest Loser? Those people drop 150 pounds in like 3-4 months, 5 months, whatever it is, right? Now, let's juxtapose that. Using big words, juxtapose. Let's juxtapose that to how much muscle you can gain a year. Now, a good year of muscle growth, and this is for a bodybuilder, will be a good 10 pounds of muscle. If you had 10 pounds, 5 pounds of muscle is even good. If you had 5 to 10 pounds of muscle in a year, that's godly. The difference between a 160-pound lean athlete and a 170-pound lean athlete is night and day. So if you can add 10 pounds of lean muscle in a year, that's an amazing year. So let's go back to that example. 100 pounds on one end, 10 pounds on the other. That's what's going on. So again, you have to realize, going back to that, I'm not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. Just makes no sense. Now, if this is happening to you, you need help, where would you look, Adriana, for a client that needs help, and they're supposed to be on a diet, but they're not following a diet to the T.
Yeah, so several areas you can look at is, first of all, your digestion. Do you have a good digestive health? Do you have daily bowel movement? So you can look at that. You can also look at, are you intaking enough water? If you're not intaking enough water, you're going to retain some water. And then also just for females, female clients, you want to make sure, are you on your menstrual cycle? When you're on your menstrual cycle, it's going to be an increased hormone, so you're going to have an increased weight.
Well, and again, amazing points, but to go back to also the main point of this, when your client is not losing weight, what is your number one thing? Like what's your number one reason they're not losing the weight?
What do you mean?
They're not following the diet.
Oh, yeah.
You're not following the diet. Let's be real. You're not following the diet. That is what these people are doing.
Yeah, because if you're in a calorie deficit, your weight should be going down. There's scientifically, mathematically, there's no way that your weight is increasing on a calorie deficit.
Yeah, you're just not. It's just not happening. If you're over 25% body fat and you're not losing weight and you're supposed to be on a lean plan, either you're not following the lean plan or the lean plan is not correct. That it's just plain and simple. I'm going to give you another example because I'm very passionate about this one. I'm sweating in here, wearing a lot of clothes. Very passionate about this. And Adriana can chime in on this and I'll give it to her. So Adriana, let's say if you have a client who's 220, 30% body fat, but their height's irrelevant, but let's just put a high on it just for fun. They're 5'6", 5'7", right? They lose 3 pounds over the course of the first 6 weeks. Would you call that a successful program?
No. Definitely not, because that's less than a pound a week. Minimum, you should be losing at least a pound a week. So I would expect 6 pounds per week, anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds per week. If you're at a 500 calorie deficit per day, it should be around 1 to 2 pounds per week, especially in the beginning. You start losing more weight quicker.
Exactly, because remember, in the beginning of a program, if you're ever wondering, this is a little side note. I get sidetracked, right? It's ADD. If you're ever wondering in a program, hey, I dropped 6 pounds, 5 pounds the first 2 weeks. I dropped 10 pounds, 11 pounds the first 2 weeks. And then on the 3rd and 4th and 5th week, you only drop a pound and a half. And you're like, oh man, what's going on? The program sucks. That's not true. Remember, the first 2 to 3 weeks of a program, because of diet change, you're getting on a good diet, your body's in deficit, your body's clearing out all the bad food you've been eating, all the bad chemicals, all the bad additives, your digestive tract's freeing up, you're going to drop a lot of waste. Not necessarily fat. So if you drop 10 pounds, let's say you drop 6 pounds the first week, you didn't lose 6 pounds of fat. You probably lost 2 pounds of fat, 4 pounds of waste. Water. Because remember, when you're overweight, your body's holding way too much extra water. A lot of extra water.
Higher sodium.
Yep, higher sodium diets. So your body, when it's time to start dropping, it's on a better plan, it's going to drop a lot of extra water. So again, I'm going to bring it up again because I get sidetracked. I am not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. You need to look in the mirror ASAP. If the goal of your program is to lose weight, which is the 99% of every program that we ever sell that is sold around the country, around the world, is a weight loss program because more than ever, people are overweight. If you're not losing weight, there's a problem. You don't get a free cookie, no cookies though. You don't get a free cookie because you've been working out. I'm happy that you're working out. I'm happy you're prioritizing health, but you need to be losing. And if a trainer's giving you the wrong plan, you need to get a new trainer or confront the trainer. Don't fight him, but confront them, right? So again, anything you want to add on that, or you're good now?
No, that's good.
You like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat that one just because that one's so important. I'm not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. No. You're not losing weight because you're not following your plan. You're not on the right plan. All right? Remember, the only reason we go to the gym is to see results. If you're not seeing results, You need to figure out what's going on here,
Take
you know?
those progress
You
pics.
need to DM me, you know? You need to send me an email. Come sign up over here. All right? Free plug. All right, so that's myth 3. So we covered those 3 myths. And let's just sum up those 3 myths because we talked about a lot. I can lose belly fat by doing abs. That's myth 1. Lifting weights makes women bulky. That's myth 2. I'm not losing weight, but it's probably because I added muscle. That's myth 3, the most annoying one. They're all annoying. If you're wondering, like, Josh, those are just 3 of the many. Like, what can I do to not run into myths in the future? To be honest, you got to do your own research. You can't just follow what other people say. You can't just rely on old misconceptions. You can't even rely on what your doctor says. Because most doctors, believe it or not, they might not even know these 3. I've trained doctors. You train doctors. They don't know what the heck is going on. I love doctors. But I'm just saying, a lot of them don't know anything about when it comes to performance training, body changing, right? You have to do your own research. Even with this video, you don't necessarily want to always take everything like it's the Bible. You want to do background information on what is going on, background research, all right? Because fitness is very simple. Like, what would you say is a simple component? Like, what makes fitness simple? Like, I think you were talking about consistency in our pre-meeting, right?
Yeah, you got to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes training, nutrition, being consistent.
Yeah, training, consistent, being, what is it?
Nutrition and
Oh, man.
consistent.
That's American education system. I just had an ADD moment. I don't know what happened. But yeah, okay, again, nutrition, training, being consistent. I got it. Gold star for me. That's all you need. In fact, and this is just a pure example. When I started to get in shape and fitness, when I moved out of the party boy lifestyle, I knew nothing about fitness. All I knew was get all the fast food out, eat chicken and rice, go work out. And that's what I did for the first 3 months. And I started to see major improvements, not even on a meal plan, not on any type of plan. I was just eating clean in training. Now I saw some results stopped. Because again, if you're not on a plan, the results will stop. But I started to make life changes. So that shows you the diet, the training, and then consistency is what is going to lead you to the top, all right? Now that's going to sum up our first video here on the, what's it called?
In-Shape.
The In-Shape podcast. If you're wondering why it's the In-Shape podcast, our last name is Shaper,
The Shapers.
The Shapers, so take the shape. In-Shape podcast. You know what I'm saying.
With a C.
With a C. It's German. I'm half black, half German. Exotic, right? What are you?
I'm Salvadorian.
She's Salvadorian. From Salvador, right?
Yep.
She's straight from Salvador, right? So again, this is one of the many topics we're going to be covering. We're going to be using science to drive this channel, to drive these podcasts. Because science is the only thing that matters when it comes to fitness. We're also going to be talking about mental health, about when it comes to fitness, when it comes to fitness, it's all about mental health and learning how to become disciplined, learning how to be consistent, learning how to change your life through fitness. We're going to talk about all those great things. I know I sound like a cult leader, but come back to us. All right. So again, my name is Josh Buff Comedy.
I'm Adriana.
This is the In-Shape podcast, episode 1. Finito.